Hey, welcome back to TM Talk. I'm Professor Tommy. As always, I'm joined with my co-host and friend, Professor Ashley, and we're out here just trying to survive this winter storm that has a chilling rain over us in this past couple of weeks. But we have still been able to enjoy Pokemon. That's the one thing that has been nice about this storm is that, hey, it gave us some time to stay inside and watch this triple header weekend that we had with Pokemon tournaments that happened in Mérida, Birmingham, and a special event in Auckland, Australia. So all around the globe, people playing Pokemon and having fun. So enjoyed that. We also have some exciting news about the release of the new set this Friday, Ascended Heroes, and then also when those cards are going to become legal. And once again, the voice of the Pokemon community has been heard, and some changes have been made to our end of round statuses. So we'll talk about all that, and we'll play our new favorite game, Guess the TM, all today on this episode. So looking forward to doing that with you all. But first, before we get into all of that, Ashley, how you been doing so far?
I have been doing all right. I had a pretty rough weekend, but we had so much snow this past weekend. It was crazy. I don't think we've seen snow like this in a very, very long time. And I was super, super excited to go play out in it. And my neighbor had asked me if I wanted to go sledding with her and the kids. And unfortunately, I didn't get to because I also fell sick this weekend. So I wasn't in the best shape. Getting a little bit better. I am currently on a work trip right now. They sent me to the city for some training. And so I am just relaxing in my hotel room. So if you see not very good light for this, I apologize, guys. But other than that, I've been doing all right. How about you?
I've been doing all right. Don't worry about it. I think the hotel light looks great on you. You're doing good things out there. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I've been like once again, right, trying to survive this winter storm. We got 7 inches of snow over here where I live at. I have 50 plus chickens that I'm trying to keep from freezing out here. So doing all these things that we did, like we winterized the coops before the storm came, luckily. So that helped out a lot. And then just kind of just doing the adjustments based off the wind, based off the cold, what the chickens were up to. So a lot of straw was thrown, a lot of food and waters had to be checked and stuff like that. So pretty busy weekend with that. And then just a normal busy, hectic time with my work. But still fit in some time for some Pokemon, trying to watch a couple of the matches at Birmingham, and then was able to catch the final top four and finals of Mérida as well. So that was cool. And then I kind of caught up briefly on what's going on in Auckland with that special event. So really cool to see all that kind of Pokemon going on during that time. And of course, with everything going on with how busy our schedules have been, hey, we just want to apologize that we are a little bit behind with our release schedule of the episodes. So I understand that maybe you may not be listening to this right when those tournaments have concluded, but we are trying to catch up. So appreciate you guys still listening in. So appreciate that. And we have some comments on some of our one of our episodes, the one that we released at the beginning of the month, which was our first one back from 2026. So thank you for all that. Again, lots of love out there. We got some messages from Shogun of Harlem 7, giving us a lot of claps, telling us keep it going, Professor Tommy. You my boy Blue. I appreciate it, Shogun. Always support me and appreciate all that. So thank you so
Got
much.
your own little fan there. I love it.
I do. Longtime friend. Glad he was able to find us. And that was organic. He found us organically. So I appreciate that. So thank you, man. Appreciate that. Deepasula 63 writes, as a player this year, I want to make my first day 2 at a regional. I almost did it at NAIC, so I know it's close. As a professor, I want to bring back the fun tournaments, starting with GLC this month. So Professor Danny there letting us know his goals for the new year. And thank you for sharing both your goals as a player and as a professor, right? Because I think it's important to do because you serve both those roles. So you have to make sure you're growing in both those aspects of your enjoyment of the hobby. So I'm glad you were able to do that. And I'm hoping, man, I'm hoping everybody's close to their day 2 at regionals here. We have one more shot. We have everybody going to Houston here in March. So hopefully all of us are going around day 2, and then we whittle the field, and it's Oklahoma all the way for Houston's regional. That would be exciting to see.
We're definitely gonna have to put in a lot of work. All right, guys, all of you that are listening, we're gonna we gotta put our foots down. We gotta practice a lot so we can get really good for Houston.
Yeah, 100%. So a lot of testing. We may do some testing here on the show. Give you guys some ideas about how testing kind of goes about, how we approach that, and let you see some fun games maybe. So that'd be pretty cool to do. And as always, I wanted to just let you guys know, as with our busy schedule, editing did get away from us. So sorry for some of the sounds you may have heard during the episode. If it distracted you, I'm sorry. We're going to make sure we don't get those again. But if not, maybe there are fun little Easter eggs in there that kept you engaged to the episode.
Just
Hopefully.
To be clear, anybody that's listening, all the weird noises, we have a few dogs, and one of them was in my office while I was recording that episode, and I unfortunately did not hear him scratching and biting at himself because I had my headphones on at the time. So I told Tommy that he is not allowed when I am recording anymore. So that was the gremlin noises that you heard. I apologize. Hopefully it won't happen again.
Yeah, we weren't summoning Darkrai, I promise you. So no, it's all right, and I'm sorry that we got your dog banned from recording, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right.
He tries to whenever I was recording up in my room when we first started doing this, he would jump on the bed and get next to me. I know you guys couldn't see this because we didn't record video back then, but now that we're recording video, if you saw him, he would get right here and he would start biting or scratching, and he'll whine because he wants my attention. And then I had to push him away. I'll give you love after this, but you got to calm down. I'm trying to do something right now.
Oh, that's how they are. I'm lucky. I'm shut off in my own little office. I shut the door, and most of the time, people realize hey, I'm in here doing something, so they won't bother us. But every time that my kids will come in and out of my office, they will leave that door open, and every single animal, especially my cats, like to come in here and explore this area because oh, I've never been in here before, except I was just here 10 minutes ago. So definitely cards go flying all around the place. But
the last time I was there, their little kitten kept trying to go in there. Every time I opened the door, just super fast. And it tries to get all over the cards.
We got one more comment here from Griffin292. Glad to see you guys back. I'm very excited for Ascended Heroes and some unique new cards that come with it. But I am sad the largest set ever is limited in types of products they will make. Would rather see this strategy on a small set. Hey, I definitely hear you there. It's a different way they're going to release this. Hopefully it makes it better for everyone to try to find product as they release it slowly throughout the time. I hope that's their strategy for it. And it doesn't make it that difficult for us to find all these cool new cards that are coming out. But we do have some news about Ascended Heroes. And when those cards are going to be legal here, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But thank you for everybody who put their comments on our video. And definitely check us out on YouTube at TM Talk Podcast. Find us on Spotify as well, TM Talk Podcast, and Amazon Music there. If you want to reach out to us, we're on X. We're on Instagram, and we are on YouTube, as I said, at TM Talk Podcast. And of course, always feel free to write into us. I like to see your personal emails. Get to talk to you one-on-one. Hopefully, you give us a lot of good ideas about what you want us to talk about next, or what we'd like to cover on the next episode. You can find us there with tmtalkpodcast@gmail.com. So always looking forward to hearing from you all. And I love reading those on the air, so you guys have some connection to our episodes and stuff. So hopefully you can share that with your friends and family and get them addicted to our podcast, as you all too. And of course, as always, hit all the buttons down below, except for the thumbs down. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the comment buttons, all that kind of stuff. Thumbs down, don't do that. Don't be like that. But let us know what you guys think. Appreciate all that. So moving on into the news that we're talking about, right? So, first and foremost, actually, that news was released today because on Friday, which at the time of this recording is 2 days from now, Ascended Heroes will be releasing January 30th. And so with that, a lot of speculation was like, okay, well, it releases January 30th, 2 weeks later. We're talking about the 14th. That's the week of EUIC. Well, Ashley, would you like to read to us what Play Pokemon released as far as news-wise about the legality of these cards?
I would love to. I had to unmute myself. Okay, so today they literally just released this information, and you can find it, like, if you go on X, this is where I found it. Pokemon TCG said, we would like to share an important update concerning the upcoming Pokemon TCG Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes Collection Erica/Larry product. The US-Canada release will be delayed from the original scheduled launch of January 30th, 2026 to February 20th, 2026. We greatly appreciate the community's patience and ongoing support. And then after that, Play Pokemon, because of this, they also posted a legality update. And it says, to ensure players have more sufficient time to prepare for upcoming Play Pokemon events and tournaments, we are providing advance notice on upcoming adjustments to the TCG Tournament Handbook. Pokemon TCG products will become legal for official tournament play 2 weeks following the release of an expansion's respective booster display, booster bundle, or sleeved booster pack, whichever comes first. Sets that do not have sleeved booster packs, such as Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes, will follow the same 2-week cadence based on the release date of the expansion's Elite Trainer Box or Booster Bundle, whichever comes first, which in our case is going to be the Elite Trainer Box, which releases on February 20th. So this will affect the tournament legality date for all Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes products, which has been adjusted to March 6th, 2026. So the set will not become legal to play in tournaments and any form of tournaments until March 6th, 2026. Please note that this change will impact the release and legality schedule for the upcoming 2026 Europe International Championships taking place on February 13th to 15th, 2026. So if you were planning to go play at EUIC, you will now no longer be able to play Ascended Heroes, so it will be played in the Phantasmal Flames format. So if you were planning on going to that, just be aware of that update. And if you were planning on having any tournaments, such as us, we had a tournament scheduled at the end of February that originally I had Ascended Heroes in, but now I need to go in and update that. So if you have any coming up, Ascended Heroes will not be legal until March 6th.
Yeah, so that's pretty big news because a lot of people have been prepping for EUIC since Stuttgart, right? Because they knew, or they were planning that Ascended Heroes would be legal during that time. I've seen a lot of competitive players on X talk about the cards they were thinking about adding from Ascended Heroes for EUIC. And of course, the big one too is that like a big deck that changes with Ascended Heroes is Ends Zoroark. Ends Zoroark gets a new Pokemon, Ends Zekrom, which actually allows it to hit for 280, I believe, right off the bat. So no longer having to depend only on Ends Reshiram to provide you with an attack that you can do without having like damage modifiers on you and things like that for like 170, or trying to work in Darumaka to do the blast cannon attack. But the Ends Zekrom is going to be another attacker for that deck, which made it a little bit more versatile, a little more volatile, and probably a little bit more able to compete in this meta at a higher tier. So that really changes a lot of people's plans about what they're going to play and things like that. So it may change your plans too locally, because as they said, like Cups and Challenges, you still won't be able to play that till March 6th. And then that really kind of makes Houston one of the first regionals in this new format of Ascended Heroes. So interesting all around, kind of changes the way we were going to play as well, because EUIC was going to be really one of those big ones that we could kind of look at decks that did well and be able to see what did do well, what didn't do well, mimic that, or maybe make some adjustments based off our test to go to Houston. But now it's kind of like we're the guinea pigs of this new one, or maybe it's a little bit. It's a little bit more time to test with these cards. They will be out, they will be available, and they will be on TCG Live. And TCG Live actually just released an announcement as well, because a big thing that a lot of players have been mentioning is that they want TCG Live to be following the same legality schedule as tournaments, right? Because what happens now is that TCG Live will release the cards on the same weekend that the cards are officially released in real life. They'll have them in the game. So then it affects the ladder play as well. Some people like it because, hey, now I can start working 2 weeks ahead of this new format, test all these cards, do all that kind of stuff. And then, but there's really some blowback on that because of what happened with Phantasmal Flames, where they didn't release all of Phantasmal Flames, but they released Mega Gengar EX because that was a playset that came out before the official release of the actual Phantasmal Flames set. And that made a lot of people's testing for LAIC really difficult because those cards were not going to be legal at that time. So TCG Live released an announcement. They said, "Hello, everyone. We're aware that the announcement of changes to the availability and physical legality of cards from the Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes expansion has raised questions, and we want to take this opportunity to provide more information about Pokemon TCG Live's role as a game, as well as how we plan to support competitive players going forward. Pokemon TCG Live is designed to provide an environment within which players can enjoy access to newly released cards as they become available, as well as a space for those competing in play Pokemon events to immediately start preparing for future competitive play. Due to official rules on product legality, this does mean that ranked gameplay in Pokemon TCG Live will not always reflect the current rule set present at regional and international championship series events. And these differences are compounded when emergent product legality changes are made. We hear loud and clear from the community that the game is playing an increasingly important role when it comes to preparation for competitive play. We are actively taking steps towards piloting ways that will allow us to better support competitive players in time when the tournament rule set differs from the Pokemon TCG Live environment, in order to provide a safe training space for in-person events in real time without compromising Pokemon TCG Live's core mission of ensuring the latest TCG content remains accessible and playable for all. The first step in doing so is the use of trainer trials to temporarily simulate different tournament rule sets. However, implementation of changes takes some time, and additional engineering work is necessary for us to do so safely. We are looking to first pilot this through a pre-rotation trainer trial in March, with additional pilot tests to follow. Players can expect an update with more information as we get closer to the 2026 standard format rotation. We appreciate your patience and understanding as work towards making changes continues, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on these pilot tests to help inform whether they are a viable path forward for tournament preparation. Thank you, the Pokemon TCG Live development team." So pretty much breaking that down and saying that, hey, we totally understand. We hear you guys that it is being frustrating for you guys to try to prepare for a new cards coming out and for that new tournament format, and that we're not always lined up with that, especially now that they changed it again with Ascended Heroes. So now these cards are getting released this Friday. They're going to be released on TCG Live. It's going to change the ranked ladder, and so therefore, people are like, hey, I can't prep for EUIC because I'm playing with Ascended Heroes cards, and that's not what I'm playing in EUIC. So they said, hey, we hear you. We're sorry. The first thing they're going to do is not going to be in time for EUIC, but try to do these trainer trials that are in the more relaxed play style of TCG Live, where that trainer trial will mimic the format that you're trying to get ready for. Interesting thought. I think as a developer, I totally understand. Like, hey, can't make changes overnight. You have to develop this, you have to test it, you have to make sure it's working the way you think it's supposed to, go through all the different trials and tribulations of that, because the last thing you want to do is release a product that it breaks in live or in production, right? So if people are playing it and it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, they're gonna say, well, this sucks, this doesn't work. But so it's gonna take some time to get that stuff out. So it's a double-edged sword. But at least they're hearing us. They're hearing the want from the competitive scene about what they're looking for when they try to practice formats. I think if they can create a trainer trial where you can customize the format itself, and it's not just based off of a static format that they created, but they actually give you that opportunity, like saying like, hey, do you want to play, what format do you want to play? Like, well, what cards are legal or not legal based off the, rule set, things like that. That'd be pretty cool. But it sounds like to me what they're going to do first is just kind of make these static, hey, this is this format of Ascended Heroes that starts in March. This is the format of After Ascended Heroes, and you can play it here if you want to do that when it gets released, so on and so forth. So move in the right direction for sure. But it's kind of threw everybody for a loop today, I think, about how they're going to prep for their future tournaments coming up for Ascended Heroes, how they're going to even prep for rotation as well and stuff like that. So interesting to hear all those different kind of news and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on this whole thing, Ashley?
I like that Pokemon has always been really good about like listening to their fan base and trying to accommodate what they can. So I like that TCG Live is actually listening to us now and taking into account that it is really hard to prep for some tournaments whenever it's in different formats. Because I think we even touched on this in a past episode too, about whether some of these should be legal in TCG Live. So I like that they're taking their time and trying to listen to this and trying to come up with a solution. And like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. There's so much that has to go into it. I know that there's a lot of coding. Like, a lot of people don't think about that stuff, so it is very hard, but it's cool that they're going to do that. And it really does stink for anybody that was planning on going to EUIC and trying to already basically, they've probably already been practicing for at least the past month with proxies and everything, leading up to this. So now that they're going to have to change their whole game plan. So it does stink, but sometimes like things like this are out of our control and you just have to kind of adjust to it and just keep going. It's just like whenever you're actually playing a game, you may mess up and have a misplay, but you just adjust accordingly and then keep playing. It's just like that. So I think this is going to be cool, and I'm excited to see TCG Live and see how they come up with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes moving forward. And like I said, yeah, it's going to take some time, but I think we're moving in the right direction. So nobody can be really too mad about that. And just, hey, at least it's not changing the format from what you like to where you can't get the cards at all. Because I know there was a lot of rush about like trying to get these cards before EUIC. So hopefully maybe that released some stress and anxiety from some players of like, I need to like pay out the wazoo for these Pokepads that I want to get for my deck or something like that. So hopefully it quelled those anxieties, and the cards you're going to play are out there. You can find them and get them together. So interesting.
And I know
enough.
that was like one of the biggest things about people playing at EUIC, trying to figure out how to get these cards, because they were only releasing the 2-pack blisters or the 3-pack blisters that were coming out. So it was going to be extra, extra hard to try and find the cards that you needed. So I think this will help kind of ease some of those anxieties about trying to figure out how to find the cards, as well as the prices, because some people were like, the Pokepads are going to be $10 a piece, I bet.
yeah, there's gonna be some crazy stuff, and then you don't have to worry about doing some weird deals with a dude in a trench coat for some Pokepads. So hopefully that makes it. Yeah, exactly. You want some cards? I got some cards for you.
I got the Pokepads.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that helps out in that aspect at least. But yeah, we read those off our phones because it's so fresh. But we have other news about the tournament as well for EUIC. I'm going to share that with you all now, which is pretty interesting because once again, this was something that caused a lot of people to say, like, what are we doing? Are we moving the right direction? Are we not moving the right direction? And it is the end of round procedures at Pokemon TCG Championship events. So 3 turns in overtime are back. I'll read this first, and then we'll kind of discuss our thoughts about this. But this is end of round procedures were updated on September 1st, 2025. Remember that date. So when time was called in a round at a championship event, the competitors would have 1 additional turn to complete their match. In addition to this, an overtime clock of 10 minutes was instituted to ensure that both players had plenty of time to complete that final turn and to provide structure to enact slow play penalties where applicable. Following months of competition and significant community feedback, it's clear that the current procedures aren't hitting the mark, and we're updating the rules for the rest of the season, starting on February 13th, 2026. At the 2026 Europe International Championships, end-of-round procedures for Pokemon TCG Championship events will return to a system where competitors are given +3 turns to complete their match. When time is called, the active competitor will finish their current turn, and then 3 additional turns will be played, starting and ending with the opponent. Maintaining round time consistency at championship events is still important, so the current overtime clock is being increased to 15 minutes, providing ample time for competitors to complete their match. For more details on end-of-round procedures, please refer to the official Play Pokemon Tournament Rules Handbook. Good luck during the remainder of the 2026 Pokemon Championship Series season, trainers. So, interesting to say the least, that they were going to come out with this change. They said that September 1st, it was changing. Hey, +1 10-minute timer. We heard a lot of people's feedback on that. And during this whole time, it's been mixed reviews, right? Some people like it, some people don't like it, and all that jazz. But it was changed, and people were like, okay, this is what I got to get ready for. And then lo and behold, start of the new year, Pokemon goes, hey, we changed it. We heard what you guys have said. We're going to go back to the +3 turns at the end of time. But there's still an overtime clock now. So now it's no longer unlimited. It is 15 minutes to complete those 3 turns. So for those of you who maybe have never played in the +3 turn format, it goes by time is called. If I'm playing, I'm turn 0. I finish my turn. Ashley would then be turn 1. She would get to play her turn. Then it goes back to me. I'm turn 2. I finish my turn, and then Ashley gets one more turn at turn 3, and she gets to finish that up. And then at the end of that, if there is no clear winner by any kind of win condition, so you took all your prize cards, you benched out your opponent, then it's declared a tie. But if you did win or took your last prize cards, you won the game. But now you have 15 minutes to complete that change of turn. So roughly, 5 minutes per turn. And it's interesting now because actually the rule book to Pokemon TCG has added kind of like guidelines for time that certain actions should take, especially the start of game deck search, which they have put it down as 45 seconds. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll turn off this share. I'll try to pull up the handbook so we can actually pull up that list. But yeah, it's 45 seconds now. So it's interesting because now we have these kind of more guidelines about what is slow play, how long should you take for certain actions and things like that, especially that first deck search. So hoping that the pace of play is a little bit more accelerated as we play. I can see this being able to be enforced more like on a stream match where there's a judge there stationed at that game and being able to make those calls. I feel like it's still going to be pretty difficult, at the rest of the field for the tournament where judges are just roving between all these tables and all these games that are going on. So really it's just, nobody wants to do it maliciously. I hope not, right? To take longer time or to try to drain the clock from their opponent being able to play. But this is just something more that we have to kind of be aware of as we're playing. And I've seen a lot of interesting responses about this on X as well from a lot of Pokemon community. People are saying that, hey, it's a step in the right direction, but the only way we're going to solve this is chess timers, chess clocks, and things like that we hit back and forth. I don't know about that. I think that's just adding an extra element to the game that probably doesn't need to be there. I think it's just kind of like, hey, just understanding like we're here to have fun. We're here to play this game. These are the rules. Let's try to follow that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this, Ashley? The update to the end around time and turns, and then also the guidelines for the new time set for certain actions.
To be honest, I'm kind of excited that they're bringing back the +3 turns. I do like that they put the limit of 15 minutes though, instead of like the unlimited time. Because I feel like with the +1 turn and 10 minutes, I felt like that was kind of like overkill. Like, especially now that they've put more guidelines on how long your actions should take. I felt like 10 minutes was a long time for just like an extra turn. So I feel like the 3 turns is going to be a lot better because at least for me, I haven't really seen like a huge difference in the time. Like I know a lot of they probably did it for like time constraints at first, but I personally haven't really seen it. So I think going back to the +3 turns, it's going to benefit players in the long run because I know there's been a couple of games where I played where if I would have played +3 turns, I could have won. But because we were only in a +1 turn, it just turned out into a tie. So I think a lot more players are going to enjoy that because it gives them a little bit more time. Just like sometimes even just that one extra turn can make your gameplay completely different from what you end up with. And I do think that this is kind of cool that they put the suggested times for actions now. So now whenever you're practicing, like, I know me, I'm probably going to go and start timing myself whenever I deck check just by myself so I can see how long I'm actually taking. Because that's been such a huge, like, a huge thing in the Pokemon community recently is people just taking so long to do deck checks. So now that Pokemon has actually put that guideline out, maybe people will go a little bit faster whenever they're doing their deck checks.
Yeah, hopefully, and I pulled it up here this is from the Play Pokemon TCG tournament handbook. So they've this season they came out with separate handbooks for each of the different games for the tournaments, and then an overarching tournament handbook that covers rules and regulations for all of them, and then they have one specifically for each game type. So here is the TCG one, and this is 7.4.5 tempo of play, right? The pace of a Pokemon TCG match should be lively without being excessively fast, and each competitor should receive approximately half of the allotted time for the game. Play Pokemon has set forth the below guidelines by which to assess whether a game action is completed in a reasonable time frame. So we have some game action here: shuffle and set. Game start, 2 minutes. Shuffle and deck search, first of game, 45 seconds. Shuffle and deck search mid-game, 15 seconds. Perform the actions of a card attack, 15 seconds. Consider game position before playing a card, 10 seconds. And starting the turn after opponent's end of turn announcement, 5 seconds. And I like that they added this here as well. So competitors attempting to compartmentalize their turn in order to consistently use every second of the time allowed for these actions will be subject to penalties associated with stalling. So what that means to me and what I hear from that, right? Like once again, these are guidelines. They should take about 45 seconds, your first deck search, right? It's not saying at 46 seconds, you should be calling judge in the air and be like, hey, like this guy's taking longer, right? Let's get him out of here. But understanding that, hey, look, that first deck search, you should be doing it quickly. You shouldn't be sitting here counting every single card, trying to figure out exactly what your 6 prize cards are, but more of looking through your deck and saying, okay, what are my important cards? Do I have those? Okay, cool, got it. All right, let me go back in. Let me start doing, okay, there's my buddy search. I'll do this, boom, boom. Okay, I saw that I have all my energies. Great. Next search. Okay, I'm gonna search for. Do I have my supporters? Do I have maybe my Pokemon chain, my evolution lines, things like that. Looking for those things as you're searching, and like only the important things to know. Okay, yeah, I do have this, this, this. That's what you need to be focused on. And every time you do a deck search, maybe you're looking for one other thing, right? So it also means with like Ultra Balls, like you have to have this decision, like, hey, I play Ultra Ball, here I go, 15 seconds to find what you're looking for, that Ultra Ball. And maybe you already know what you're going to get, but maybe you need to look for something else. Use those 15 seconds to look for that other key piece that you're looking for, right? I did have a game when I first, when I played in Indianapolis, where it was my second game. I lost my first match. I'm in my second match. My opponent won the one game one, and then they immediately slowed down, right? They even were dictating to me, hey, it says I have 2 minutes to shuffle and set up before the game start. Oh, I have, X amount of time to do this action, and I'm making sure of it. And that right there is stalling, right? Like if you're openly telling me, hey, I have 2 minutes to do this. Hey, I have 15 seconds to do this. And you're going to take all that time, even though if you don't need it especially if you don't need it, then you're stalling time to keep me from being able to play the game. And that's unfair as well, right? You should be playing a lively game without being excessively fast. And each competitor should receive approximately half of the allotted time to play. So each of us should roughly get 25 minutes of actual play action time in our games. So just keep that in mind, right? If you're going to a competitive tournament, I actually said, time yourself as you're preparing. Like maybe see how long it takes you to find out that Ultra Ball, or to think about, okay, my next turn, what do I need to do, right? Because you only have that 10 seconds before playing a card, and then you have 15 seconds to actually do the action of that card, and things like that, right? So being mindful of those time checks. And once again, it's a guideline. It's not saying that if you're 5.1 seconds from starting your next turn that you're immediately going to get a 2 prize penalty. But if you are consistently being long in starting your turn, and it's taking more than 5 seconds, that's definitely something that somebody can bring up to a judge and say, hey, can you watch our pace of play? I don't think we're following the tempo of play as we should be. Things like that. So interesting to me. I just hope that, I am an optimist at heart, I guess, at some points. I'm hoping that players kind of take this into consideration and say, hey, I should be considering my opponent. Because at the end of the day, it should be, I executed my game plan for my deck and strategy better than my opponent, not that I was better at managing the time on the clock to deny my opponent time to play. Think about those statements as you're playing, right? Because which one feels better? That you were able to stop your opponent from playing altogether because you took advantage of time rules, or that you prepared enough that where you knew that your deck better than your opponent and you were able to execute your game plan better than your opponent, right? That's my kind of 2 cents on it. I'll get off my soapbox. Ashley, you have any more you want to add to that?
The only other thing that I was going to say is I honestly cannot remember if they had put this in there first or if they updated it when they updated the guidelines. But I do like that they specifically says the TCG match should be lively without being excessively fast. Because I remember one specific opponent, and this is not anything negative against them, but they were so fast, like I couldn't even keep up with what they were playing. They did end up winning because their deck, like they knew their deck, and I think that's why they played so fast. But it is nice that they put that in there, because sometimes when people are just like way too fast, your opponent can't keep up. And we all need to make sure that we can keep up to an extent.
Yeah.
So I do like that they actually outline that too.
No, for sure. I've had that situation too. Actually, at the same tournament in Indianapolis, I was playing Charizard and I was playing in a mirror match, and this player I was playing against had more experience at tournaments than I did. And I could see that they were playing quickly, so I was like, "Oh wait, okay." So I was like trying to keep up, and like somehow at the same time while I was playing, I was like, how am I going this fast? This is crazy. Like, it made me play faster. I was playing like these crazy lines and in the match. It was cool. Like I enjoyed it. It was a fun match overall, but I do like being like feeling like you have to force like to keep up can be very detrimental to your gameplay, right, and stuff like that. You're more susceptible to making a mistake or something like that through that point. I don't know. I locked in like Rain Man at one point. I was just like, I'm doing these things. My hands are doing things with my cards that my brain's. I'm talking to myself about like how crazy it is that I'm playing this fast without even noticing it or realizing it. So that was cool. Like a realization moment for me. But yeah, it's crazy nonetheless. So that's I mean that's a pretty the big news that came out, and of course, a news I'll read or I'll share with everybody as well is that February 27th is Pokemon Day, right? So that'd be, I believe that's the last Friday of February. So definitely keep an eye out at your local leagues to see what is gonna be provided to celebrate Pokemon Day, because it being the 30th anniversary of Pokemon Day as well. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that's coming. We, as a league, did get selected as to get promotional materials from Pokemon to celebrate Pokemon Day. So it sounds pretty cool. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, some promo cards, some specific prize packs for that. And then they said some other cool promotional products. So looking forward to seeing what those are going to be and celebrating that day with everybody there. So we'll be doing our celebration on the 28th, which is of course that following Saturday. So definitely having the fun time to celebrate Pokemon Day, and kind of take a step back and maybe not be so competitive about it, but just enjoy the hobby overall of it. So I have some things planned. I won't say what it is. I got to talk to everybody else and see what they like to do. But yeah, we'll talk about it later off air and have a good time with it. So it should be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be really cool. So ending all this crazy news with some exciting news, some fun news. So definitely, if you have not checked out your local leagues, please go out. Please find them on Pokemon.com. Go out there, meet your local leagues, and don't miss out on this exciting events and tournaments that they have going on and celebrating Pokemon Day and stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into these tournaments, right? So talking to Ashley before the podcast, we said because there are so many tournaments that were going on, we're going to be focusing mainly on TCG, just because we have Limitless to help us walk us through like what's happened, what the meta was, and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to know exactly what happened for Go or VG, reach out to us, message us all through all the channels that we gave, X, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon. You can hit us through email, send a carrier pigeon, messenger raven, whatever you like to do. Let us know, and we'll definitely find that information for you and say it on the next podcast. So, but let's go ahead and look at these tournament results, and we'll go ahead and start with. I believe I have Birmingham pulled up. Let me share this. Oh, I can pick. Haha. So I will pick. We'll start with Birmingham. Birmingham was the regional that was streamed by Pokemon officially. So we had all the casters out there in Birmingham giving us the play-by-play of what was going on. And as we see here, at number 1, Ethan Wild with the Dragapult Dusknoir play coming in and winning the entire Birmingham regional. So congratulations to Ethan Wild. A lot of cool stories though going on during this regional, because one was Emma Hagen. Emma actually was featured at the beginning of the tournament on the stream of going over her deck list. Emma's not one of those to shy away from like saying like, hey, I'll let you know what I'm going to play later after the tournament. She has always been open to post her deck list before the tournament and say, hey, this is what I'm playing. If you can beat me, then bring it. So the Pokemon actually did a interview with her over her deck list about the picks that she's made, the texts that are in there, all those kind of stuff. So really cool to see. And so Emma was able to challenge everybody and make it to the finals of this Birmingham regional as well, with everybody knowing what she's going to play. And she's always been playing Flareon Noctowl since she's kind of come into her own in the competitive scene and becoming more active in it. So Flareon Noctowl there in second place. The other story that I was paying attention, of course, because it's one of my favorite decks to play, was Charizard Pidgeot. Charizard Pidgeot making a strong showing in Birmingham. With third and fourth place, Charizard Pidgeot, fifth place being the Charizard Noctowl deck, and then in ninth place as well, Charizard Noctowl. So we're seeing a lot of cool decks, Charizard decks coming out there with the surgence of Charizard Noctowl, but Oyvind and Hermione showing that Charizard Pidgeot is still a viable play as well. So it's pretty cool to see that come up. What about you, Ashley? So any decks that you're looking at that was exciting for you to see, or any matches that you saw that you thought would be pretty cool to talk about?
I actually don't remember. I don't think I got to watch any of Birmingham. I think I tuned into a little bit of VG, but I didn't actually get to watch any of the TCG, unfortunately, because I didn't feel the best this weekend, so I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it. But that's actually really cool about Emma, how they featured her deck at the beginning, and then she made it all the way to the finals. So that's an amazing feat. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It was super cool to watch. What I did was I just went into labs at Limitless, so we can kind of look at this meta share of what was going on. So day overall, the meta share was 15%, 15.8% Goldango, followed by Dragapult Dusknoir at 13, Charizard Noctowl at 8, Gardevoir splitting the Gardevoir and Gardevoir Jellicent build at 4.4 each. But with regular Gardevoir eking out Gardevoir Jellicent, and then we had Charizard Pidgeot at 3.68, and then kind of making our way down the chain here, Alakazam Dunsparce 3.59, and Zoroark 3.5, and then Grimmsnarl kind of running out the 3%ers here at 3.08%, but showing a 51% win rated. So pretty awesome showing for Grimmsnarl, even though it wasn't that big of the meta share, still doing very good as far as win percentage goes on. If we look at conversion rates, Goldango, once again, the conversion rate at 18%, Dragapult Dusknoir at 22%, Charizard Noctowl at 20%. So a big boost for Charizard Noctowl coming up here with this conversion rating again. Gardevoir, great conversion rating one more time. 27 and 23% respectfully, all the way through there. So pretty cool to see that. If we turn off variant, or if we turn on variant grouping, we'll kind of get see what we're kind of used to, which is Goldango, Dragapult, Charizard, Gardevoir, top four there. The conversion ratings though, if we go down to decks, actually had I say over 30, right, playing. Grimmsnarl once again at 27%. Flareon at 25, Gardevoir at 25%. So pretty stacked conversion days here, and then overall meta share once again same as Toronto that we saw. Goldango, Dragapult, Charizard, Gardevoir taking up the top four spots, and then followed by everybody else with a big gap in between them all. So anything for you on this, Ashley, with the meta share and conversion ratings that you saw? Anything interesting to you, or anything that pops out?
The one of the ones that pops out is if you look at the win percentage of Marnie's Grimmsnarl and Flareon, they both have the biggest win percentage, even though Grimmsnarl was, what was the highest one? I think they made it in the top 8. I can't remember for sure.
Let's go back and see the standings here. So let's look at it real quick. Win percentage for Marnie's Grimmsnarl, 50.41%. I'm looking for Flareon at 52%. And then, so of course, we already know that Emma with Flareon Noctowl was second. And then if we look at for Grimmsnarl, I believe the top Grimmsnarl was 17th.
Okay, so 17th. But so even though like the best Grimsnarl was only 17th, the win percentage was actually really, really good. For it to have a 51% uh win percentage is great.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's pretty cool. And something I will point out, right, is Dragapult Charizard. Looks like it's trying to make a return here. So right eking out right here in the top cut at 11th spot. It's their opponent's win percentage was 64%, 11-3-1, great showing in that tournament. I do that for some foreshadowing if you didn't watch Mérida. But pretty cool decks. I mean, like we have a cool like Blaziken Dragapult here, but a lot of the same stuff that we see, and of course in Europe, I just don't think there's that many Dragapult players that decide to that they want to stick to Dragapult. So I think that's what kind of helped Charizard make it showing as it did for this tournament. What are anything else that you saw? Any decks you want to talk about, or the Santa Ashley, or you want to move on to the next one?
I think we can move on. I don't think there was anything else that I was going to point out.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Goldango still made it in the top cut, but not as prevalent as it has been in the past. So something else to keep in mind there. But okay, moving on. Actually, seniors, Dragapult Charizard taking home the seniors win, followed by Charizard Pidgeot. So that's interesting there. And then juniors, Charizard taking home juniors again. So a lot of Charizard representation here in Birmingham, making those plays. That's pretty cool. So let's go to the tournament here. Let's go to regional championship in Mérida in Mexico. And in Mexico, what we had was an interesting top four rounds, because we had two Goldengos, a Dragapult Charizard, and a Marnie's Grimmsnarl in our top four in Mérida, with our finals match being our own Jesper Erickson in the finals, with Dragapult Charizard taking it all the way to the finals to a game 3 against a really difficult matchup for this deck, which is Marnie's Grimmsnarl and Frostlast. Sadly, he could not eke out that last win, but being a finalist is definitely cool. I like to say that we contributed. Him being on our podcast last month helped him lock in for this tournament. I'll definitely take that shameless plug and shameless credit for how well he did there. So if you want to do this well, let us know so you can be a next guest on our podcast. Anything you want to share on any of this, Ashley, about Mérida?
I was just gonna say, you can see, if you look at the names, you can recognize some big names: Fernando Cifuentes,
oh yeah,
Piper Henry, all of these,
yep.
Andrew Hedrick. Yeah, there's a lot of big names there in the top 16.
Yeah, a lot of big names from North America came out to Mexico. Shorter trip than, of course, going to England, but we had a lot of players from around the world, like Jesper making his way from Denmark to Mérida as well, playing there. We had Brent Tonneson from Australia coming out to Mérida. Jackson Ford also playing Dragapult Charizard. Interesting. So a lot of big names out here. Yeah, a lot of names that we know, we see, and we follow. Gabriel Smart out there, Giovanni Sasso also out there. I believe Giovanni was the winner of Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Now I have to check myself before I wreck myself. Let's see, Toronto. Yes, he did win Toronto. I was right. I remembered. Look at that. So
Great
he
job.
played in Mérida. He played in Mérida as well. Yeah, look at that. Let's look at our metagame here in Toronto. If we look at our variant grouping, put that on. Overall, our meta share, our win percentage, we're looking at Pidgeot Control, we were 65%. Of course, there's only 3 decks playing Pidgeot, or 3 players playing Pidgeot Control. But if we look at our share, Dragapult was the number 1 with our variant grouping on. So Dragapult out there with 20%, then Goldango, then Charizard, then Gardevoir, and really like 20, 15, 13, 13, and then dropping to 6% is Raging Bull. So once again, top 4 decks definitely out there making a big showing, and then kind of followed by the rest of the field of all the other decks that are out there. Doesn't mean they're not viable, just means that just not being played as often. These, people are saying that if they want to succeed at a tournament, these are the top 4 decks they should play, or these are the top 4 decks you should do well against, right? So interesting to see overall. Let's get that variant grouping off, because I want to see specifically Dragapult Charizard 2.9% of the share, going 45% win rating, and doing that well. Like a couple of the top 15 that we saw and spread throughout here. That's pretty interesting to me. Anything catches your eye off of this meta share, win percentage?
Go back to, I think it was on the overall.
Sure.
Turn off the variant. I can't remember what I saw.
Okay. And I think it was it was sorted first by win percentage, so I was this first.
Okay, I don't remember what I saw then. Oh no, it's right there. Seeking Festival lead.
Look at that.
We haven't seen that in a long time. But it has a win percentage of 52%. That's crazy.
52%.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of games to be played with that, if you look, but still, that was just interesting to see, because that's not one that we see a lot in the meta, for sure.
For sure. And if we look at the standings, let's see if we had it in here. I thought it was actually pretty up there. The Festival Lead deck, I thought it was going to be up there, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was at another tournament that I saw Festival Lead pretty close to the top. But yeah, pretty wild. And then if we look at seniors, Dragapult Charizard, the mirror match happened for the seniors division, and then the juniors, Kenji from NAIC last year, battling his sister in the juniors division, actually won here in Mérida with Dragapult Charizard. So we almost had a Dragapult Charizard sweep all the way across in Mérida, but Grimmsnarl was there to deny Jesper that privilege. But here's Annabelle, and Kenji's sister, coming in 10th, also playing Dragapult Charizard. A lot of Dragapult Charizard out there. So I don't know, maybe that's saying something. Maybe that's the deck to play now in this Phantasmal Flames meta. It's pretty interesting to see that many Dragapult Charizards out there and doing quite well.
That is awesome. I know you played it for a while too.
I did. I played it for a while. I enjoyed it a lot. It was especially before, like the rotate, like before Badoo came out on Prismatic Evolution. I was playing it a lot and I enjoyed it that time. And then at that moment, Badoo really cut the legs out from Dragapult Charizard, I thought, because it was a very item heavy deck. And there wasn't really a lot of answers to it. Oscar Madsen, though, did put out another Dragapult Charizard deck list, which did really well after rotation as well. And it's just been growing with Dawn, the new Charmeleon that's out there. All these other cards that we got with Phantasmal Flames and Mega Evolutions, making this Charizard deck a little bit stronger out there. If we look at Kenji's deck here, he's playing Lily's Determination with the Unfair Stamp and Team Rocket's Watchtower. So teching for those knocked out decks that are out there. Interesting enough with this. So pretty cool deck list there. And then if we look at Jesper's deck list, I found Jesper's deck list pretty exciting, definitely really different than most Dragapult Charizard deck list that we saw, because he was playing no stadiums whatsoever, still playing the Unfair Stamp, going 5-4 with the energies, Lose Determination, Iono, Boss's Orders, and Arvin, and playing the 2 counter catchers as well, and only 2 rare candies. So yeah, it was pretty interesting to see. Enjoyed seeing the gameplay. I was rooting him on the entire time. It was really cool to watch. So congratulations to Jesper for making it to the finals there in Merida. Um, any other decks you wanted to check out or see out of these ones, Ashley?
I don't think there was anything else that I saw that I was gonna check out. It's cool that Raging Bolt is starting to make a comeback, though. If you haven't noticed, I've been starting to see a bunch of Raging Bolt and Ogre Pawns.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of Raging Bolt decks, and this one also is playing like the Wellspring, playing the Sandy Shocks EX, and the Mega Kangaskhan EX in here. So definitely the draw support, trying to take on some early knockouts with Wellspring Ogre Pawn, or just using the Sob ability too to let them get set up as well. But still having the Baby Bolt in here for that early one prize attacker. And then Sandy Shocks too is an interesting inclusion. I got to look into it a little bit more about exactly what you play that for. I guess it'd be for like maybe like the Joltik box or something with that kind of matchup to play into the weakness, possibly. I don't know. If you know why Sandy Shocks EX is played in Raging Bolt, drop us a line and let us know so we can discuss that further, because that's pretty cool. I know it was out in Raging Bolt before when it first started, but not really, kind of fell off. And then now it looks like it's making its way back. So cool to see that. All right.
I wonder if it's
want...
so. I pulled it up real quick before we move on. I was just gonna say I pulled it up real quick. Maybe it's because of the ability. Once during your turn, if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards remaining, you may attach a basic fighting energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So maybe it's for like a little bit of an acceleration.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely that's what it sounds like, right, with that ability. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to play that in there. All right, so let's see if we can get some. I haven't been able to find a lot of information on the special event in Auckland. So I was trying to see if I could pull up some deck lists from that, but not having a lot of luck in that way. So I can tell you, though, who did win, if everyone wants to know that. Give me 1 second here. In Auckland, we're going to go to the Masters. I will go ahead and share this. This is good. This is off of pokedata.ovh. So for another website out there for you all, if you haven't heard of it, pokedata.ovh, it's where they pretty much do just a data dump from RK9 and the pairings and like the reports of those pairings. This website actually compiles all that, and so you can see it by round, who's won, what's everybody's record and status and things like that. And then also in real time keeps track of like who's in contention for top cut and making it to day 2, and all those kind of things. And you can follow anybody you want to. So you want to follow some of your favorite players, you can favorite them, or if you want to follow your friends and family and figure out where everybody is, how everybody's doing at that aspect, you can do that too. So it's pretty cool to do that, because you can kind of favorite somebody, hit favorites, and you'll see just them that's out there. You can remove favorites and you'll see everybody again. So it's a little bit more gritty, right? It's not pretty, but it does give you all the information. I think it's super cool. And this website actually gives you a lot of different stuff, not just standings. So if you have some time, or if you've never checked it out before, check it out, pokedata.ovh. But looking at the special event in Auckland, there was a total of 80 players in the Masters division. So they played a total of 13 rounds. And they didn't have an asymmetrical top cut, because they just cleanly made into the top cut, or top 16 with the amount of players that were there. And so we can see here that in first place was Peter Lowe. I don't have any information on decks that were played. I was trying to find that out for everybody, but wasn't successful. But we had Keto Era, Dino Spasfowski, Justin, Henry Brand, a big Australian player, in the top 5. Natalie Miller, another big Australian player out there, at 8th place. Tim Franklin at 13th. So these are a lot of names that we've talked about before that are in Australia, playing, that are bigger names out there that we may have heard of playing this tournament. So what do you think, Ashley? Any thoughts or ideas from Auckland?
The only thing is I mentioned this to you earlier whenever we were talking about special championships, but compared to like a regional or anything, this was extremely small.
Yeah.
There was only like 80 players, which
Mm-hmm.
is so much different than what we're used to with like the regionals, especially the internationals too.
Yeah.
So it is very, very, very small.
And at this, so like it's like almost like a huge cup, right? Because if you look at this, like here's all the 80 players, and 79th place got 3 points. So showing up, playing, winning at least one game, got Jacelyn over here 3 points, and then moving our way up. So it's interesting to see that because really at these bigger regionals, I mean, there's over 2,000 players in the Masters division alone, so that really does shorten up the range of who gets points and who doesn't. So interesting to see. I want to see if I could find some deck lists off of that to see what was played there, what the meta was, and things like that, because it wasn't streamed and it's not on Limitless currently. They may put it up later, but definitely want to check that out. And I know while we're talking about it, let me see if Arcane9 has released those deck lists for that. So while I'm doing that, any thoughts on any of these tournaments?
I was looking at it, but I didn't actually see if they had any of the deck list up there. I couldn't even find the tournament, to be honest, whenever I was looking.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You are correct. Like, where is this thing?
It's like hidden from us, guys.
It is. This is pretty wild. I don't know, but if I'm able to find anything later about it, or during when we record our next episode, we'll definitely be able to mention it there. So those were all the tournaments in a nutshell. What caught your eye? What did you think was interesting about those meta shares, those win conversions? Jesper making it to the finals, and because he was on our podcast, that's the main reason why he was there. So if you want to be a part of, if you want to make it to the finals of your own regional, message us and see if you can be a guest on our podcast. But yeah, we love to hear what your guys' thoughts were on the weekend that we had, the triple decker weekend we have with Pokemon tournaments. So fun times all the way around. And I joke, I kid. All that victory of Jesper's is all his preparation and his readiness for that tournament. But maybe us talking about it got the juices flowing for him to be more competitive. Who knows? All right. Moving on to let's guess that TM. This time it's Ashley's turn. I did horrendous last week. I got zero. I got probably -6 points off of my guesses. Like headbutt charge or whatever I said. Come on, man.
You didn't do
Dash.
that bad. Like you were working on it, but you were almost there, but you weren't quite there.
I could see everything happening. I could see this dude like, don't worry. I'm gonna get a encyclopedia. I'm gonna be listening to TMs while I'm sleeping. I'm gonna have them recorded, playing through. Definitely gonna have all these memorized. But this time it is Ashley's turn to guess the TM. And I will once again, I believe this is Gen 1. So this is a list of TMs and in Gen 1. Once again, I will give you the TM number and the type. And then I can give you actually I'll give you the TM number to guess with, right? Is that what we said? And then the type will be a lifeline. I have locations. I can tell you how you would get this. And then I can do a off this list I have. I can give you the price of it if you can buy it or not.
Okay.
And then let me just do something real quick. Because I'll look to see if I can give you any more information.
Just to give everybody a heads up, I did not do any studying this time because we decided that we were, to make it fair for the very first one, that I was not going to look over any of these TMs so I couldn't get it right. And I had completely forgot that we were doing this until he had mentioned it right before we got back on the podcast.
Perfect. No, I can tell you who can learn it as well. So,
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I think that's pretty much what we did last time.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Are you ready, Ashley?
I'm ready to become a Pokemon master. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. The TM that you're going to be guessing today is TM7.
TM7. Ooh, okay, let's think about this.
Okay, so did we read? You read me like the actual
Yes,
what the attack does, right?
The description, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But if it says it, then just leave it. Just say blank.
Okay, so this TM is a knockout move introduced in Gen 1. That's the description.
That's it?
That's it.
A knockout move.
Yeah, it's a one hit knockout move.
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is guillotine.
Ooh, okay. I shouldn't give you anything. I shouldn't say yes or no. It's just, Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer for the first one.
It is not guillotine.
Okay.
It is a normal type move. Yes.
What is this one called? I don't think that's a one.
It's a low accuracy move. It's 30% accurate.
I'm trying to think of what it would. The only this is hard because I don't think the next one that I could think of is Vice Grip, but I don't think that's a one hit KO. I don't think that's a knockout one, but I'm gonna guess it anyway because if I get it wrong, then I get another lifeline.
So no, it is not Vice Grip. So you can hold on a second. Okay. Let's see this. Let me go back and I can give you the location. So TM7, you can find it at the Rocket Hideout or in the Celadon department store.
I knew it was going to be around Celadon. Okay.
And so who can learn it by leveling up? Nidoran, Nidorino, Rapidash, Dewgong, Rhyhorn, Rhydon. There's a ton of Pokemon that can learn this move.
Horndrill.
Is that
it?
Is that your final answer?
That was my final answer.
It is Horndrill.
Yes, let's go.
Horndrill. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you got that.
I told you, I played Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, and I've played Red probably through at least 20 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. So have I. I just always hit. I always hit just mash Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage is all I use on Gyarados. But yeah. I mean, I think I gave you a lot of Pokemon, and the common factor of those Pokemon is that they have a horn on their head.
As soon as you said Nidoran and Nidorino or Nidoking, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Horndrill. But I wanted to wait for a couple more Pokemon.
Look at all these stage 1ers who can learn this, or Gen 1ers that can learn all this. Look at this. Horn. I was like, as I was saying, I was like, maybe I'm giving her too much. I should hold back. But it was cool. That's cool. Good job. Good job guessing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, like I said, I'm gonna have to study up on this.
You're gonna have to study up.
Print this whole wiki out. I'm gonna be reading it constantly. Get it on Audible. Listen to it while I sleep. But no, congratulations on that. I mean, I find this. I think it's just fun. I think as we'll refine how we do this, and make it a we'll have more rule sets as we keep playing, but it should be fun to do. If you
Maybe
guys
just get it
enjoyed
within like 3 guesses or something.
yeah. So if you guys enjoyed it, let us know. Like I said before, if you guys have any ideas of any other segments that we can do or games that you would like us to play or test our Pokemon knowledge, definitely write us and let us know about that. But Ashley, I think that's pretty much we had everything for the episode, right? Do you have any final words for everybody here?
Um, I hope that if you are searching for Ascended Heroes or any of the Pokemon Day merchandise that is supposed to be coming out soon, I hope that you are able to find some.
Yeah, that's a that's a great piece of luck and advice there. Yeah, I hope you do. If you are looking, or if you're excited for Ascended Heroes, because it is the largest set ever to release in North America, enjoy it, have fun with it, and I hope you can find some product to look at these new cards, and hopefully you get those chasers that you're looking for. For those of you preparing for your future tournaments and things like that, hopefully you can make the adjustments. Go back to old faithfuls that you know of that we've been playing since Phantasmal Flame has come out, and the best of luck to you at all those different tournaments. And I hope to see you all here next time on our next episode, and I will make sure that we'll catch up here soon.
We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.